Okay, so I have the privilege of introducing a guy that needs no introduction. We'd like to introduce Dwayne Wade as the newest Cleveland Cavalier. You think about D. Wade, you obviously think about three-time NBA champion, Finals MVP, 12-time All-Star. He even snuck in a scoring title in 2009. I didn't forget about that. But what we're so excited about is his championship DNA, his undying commitment to winning, his work ethic, his attitude, and his leadership that he's going to bring to the table every single day. And he's going to help this team a ton on the court, but also in the locker room. And so we're just really, really fortunate that we're adding Dwayne Wade, a player of this caliber, to this team for this year. So, Dwayne, I'd love to give you a jersey, a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey, and welcome you to the team. Oh, sorry.
Yep, there you go. And then switch it around.
Yeah, gotta show that wing foot now.
That's great.
I'm gonna leave it to Dwayne. He doesn't need me for this.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Yep. Hey, Dwayne, I don't know if it was any part of a bigger plan or anything, but did you feel like you and LeBron would reunite at some point?
No.
No?
No. It's, things like this, you just don't plan it. It just happens. A lot of people thought we planned it the first time. It didn't happen that way. With having a friend like LeBron and if we was just friends, it probably wouldn't happen, but we're two pretty good basketball players, so that helps. And our games kind of help each other. But this right here is just something that, came about because of the situation in Chicago went a little different direction, in a different way than I wanted to be a part of in the rebuilding phase. And once I got the opportunity to get the buyout, LeBron was recruiting me the whole time. Once I got the opportunity to get the buyout, I looked around. I was flattered by the teams that reached out. But at the end of the day, this is where I wanted to be. This is where I felt I should be from a basketball perspective, to come in and be a part of this. This team right here from top to bottom is one of the most talented teams I've been on. I'm just happy to come and be able to add whatever I can to this group.
I know you said the other day you missed the big stage.
Yes.
How different is that adrenaline and that being in those moments as a player?
See you guys. Miss you guys. No, it's for me. I've been lucky enough in this league to be in a lot of big games, a lot of big moments. I've been in 5 finals. My whole life I've been in some big moments. So that's what makes me alive. Just when you come into a basketball season and you just plan to play, I don't like that feeling. When you don't feel like you can compete for a championship and your hope is hopefully to go to the playoffs. I like to know that. It's going to be a long season. And those are things that make me feel alive, just being on that big stage, being in those moments. I was telling somebody, I missed those moments where I remember a couple years ago when me and LeBron was together, I had a game in Indiana where I scored 5 points. Everybody said I was done. It was this and that. And then I came back the next couple games, scored 30, 28, 41. I miss that. I miss being in my room, not talking to nobody, feeling like the world's on my shoulder, and then coming out and showing what I'm made of. And I haven't had that in a couple of years. So, getting an opportunity to be back on this team, understanding, knock on wood, everyone stays healthy, what we can accomplish. Those moments are gonna come, and I look forward to it.
Then on that ground, can you project ahead to how this team would match up against the Warriors? Because that's if you want to see a four-peat here.
I cannot project how it's going to match up versus them. Obviously, the Warriors are the cream of the crop in the NBA because they're coming off a championship. But, with this team, and the media is going to always put us against the Warriors, but so many teams in between that. We only play them twice a year in the regular season. So you got to focus on the teams that you got to play 4 times a year, that's in your conference, et cetera. And when we get those opportunities against them, it's just a measuring stick in the regular season to see where you're at. So don't want to focus too much on Golden State. They're for everybody, every team. They're obviously at the top, and everyone has to, get good enough to beat them. But you got to beat the guys, that you're going to see more often than them.
You mentioned LeBron recruiting you the whole time. Going back to when and what were those conversations like?
It was slight. It wasn't heavy recruiting. I mean, I think the first time he reached out to me was when a couple days after Jimmy got traded, and he just texted me and just said, "Hey man, just checking on you." So I knew what that I knew what that meant. And you know, we obviously talk, you know, very often. So you know, then the next time he reached out to me again a little bit later, just to let me know, hey man, I would love, you know, if something happens in Chicago, where you're not a part of the organization no more, I would love for you to be here. So just things like that, and you know, it doesn't matter. Like I said, all of us here, we want to be wanted, you know, by people. So I see from the beginning that, you know, this was before the trade. This was something that he wouldn't mind happening from a basketball standpoint. He knew I can help this team in some way. So I appreciated that. And, you know, it wasn't a sole reason, but definitely everyone knows our relationship. And he's a huge reason why I decided to come in. But this team is just so good, you know, and you just want to be a part of something special like this.
When LeBron came to Miami, that fan base was familiar with you, and that franchise was familiar with you, and kind of him coming into your fold. What's it going to be like for you to come to Cleveland, where LeBron is so important to this fan base and this franchise?
I mean, I'm waiting to experience it from this side. I've experienced the Cavs fan base from the opposite side, and they booed me a lot. They cheered me a lot, you know, over the years. I've always come here and I've got warm receptions. And probably when I first came back with Brian in Miami jersey, I got some boos. You know, but they're passionate fans. You look at the Cavs fans, you look at Oklahoma City fans, you look at the Golden State fans, you look at these kind of fans, and you say those are you know, real sports fans right there. You know, they're cheering for their teams, and the energy in the stadium is amazing. So, you know, I'm definitely in the land now. I'm trying to get the lingo down. I'm trying to get comfortable with everything. But I'm just excited. You know, I'm just excited to be a part of what they've built here, from a fan base, from a organization standpoint, player standpoint. And, you know, I want to get through this media day so I can just focus on just basketball, because that's why I'm here.
Kobe mentioned your leadership. Ty mentioned it. LeBron mentioned it the other day. When you're coming into this new place where you don't know a lot of the guys and you haven't played with a lot of the guys, how do you approach that from a leadership standpoint with all the newness?
Well, I mean, I've been in the league 15 years, so I know all these guys pretty much. If they're not rookies, I know them. So we've had battles versus each other. You know, we've had moments and times, you know, whether it's all-star games, whether it's summer, whatever it is, you know, where guys, and nowadays guys work out together. We communicate, social media, guys go back and forth. So, you know, we have a rapport, you know, already. Think about Richard Jefferson. He's been around forever. You know, I played against Richard Jefferson, you know, a long time ago in the playoffs in Miami and New Jersey. So, you know, I've been knowing these guys, you know, coaching staff. I know I played with James Posey. I played with Damon Jones. I won a championship with James Posey. I mean, it's just, you know, it really felt, when I came in here the other day, it really felt like a reunion in a sense. So I think, one, from what I've done in this game, you know, it's obviously respect from the players, and two, just from the relationship that we've had. You know, with TT and, you know, those guys, I've been around Brian. I've been around this organization, you know, for a while from afar. So I know everybody. I know the coaches. So it was seamless. You know, I was telling my family, it was just like, you know, just give me a jersey, and I just got out there, and it felt normal. It felt seamless. So that made me at ease when I came here the first day, and, you know, I was excited about it.
Carmelo made it clear he was going to come after you pretty hard. How much did you consider Oklahoma City?
Melo? Yeah. Melo hit me, but Paul George really came with it. I told PG, thanks for making an old guy feel good, man. He really reached out to me. But like I said, it was great, you know, for those couple of days, just, you know, people showing that they want you, that you can add something to their team. And, you know, for me, you know, it's a lot of things that goes on from a standpoint of talking. You know, one moment somebody say that, what's the word they use, washed? I think that's a word that they use. And then next moment, I could be a piece of a championship. I can help a team. It don't really go together, but people say that. So the players understand what I can do and what I can bring from my knowledge of the game, from my ability to play this game, make plays, score when needed, and what I can bring to the locker room. So they made their pitches, of course. I reached out to them when I decided, you know, this. But ultimately, this was the best place for me.
Along those, talking about a role, and would you be open a bench role if that's what they wanted?
Me and Ty just talked about role. We didn't talk about position, you know, starting and nothing like that. We just talked about what my role can be, and pretty much what I've always done. Understanding that right now we have to get in training camp. We got to see how guys play together. We got to get through preseason. I'm not focused on it. I'm not focused on starting at the 2. I'm not focused on anything. I'm just focused on coming here, learning the offense, continue to be one of the guys, and figuring out. Ty, coach, he would figure everything out. It's everybody's job to have on a Cleveland jersey, to be ready and prepared for whatever he decides. And we're deep. We got a lot of guys, and I don't want no one to pan anybody against anybody, especially because I'm here. If someone's starting, then they're starting, and it's your job to come in when they come out the game and do your job. So we all got a job to do, no matter if it's starting, if it's coming off the bench. So when we get to that point, he'll let y'all know. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
About guys over 30 on this team. So how do you physically pace yourselves for an 8-month season with a lot of older guys?
Just deep team. If you use what we have, we can do that. I mean, we're very deep, so you don't have to. Guys don't have to pull out their do-it-yourself kits all the time. You can play, less minutes. If our first team and our second team play the way that they need to play, then LeBron don't need to play too many minutes that he has played in the past. If we do our job, and vice versa. So when you have a deep team like this, it enables you to be able to save guys minutes in a regular season.
A couple of years back, you spoke a lot about the change over 30 and using IQ more than athleticism.
Definitely.
Where are you physically now? One question. 2, what are those spots you feel you can pick with this current roster in using that IQ and kind of ebbing and flowing with the game plan instead of being that have to score every time down the floor kind of guy?
Well, I mean, I haven't been that have to score every time down in a long time. I'm a pick your spot type of player. When I have the ball in my hand, I'm always a playmaker. I'm always dangerous to make plays. And I've scored over 20-some thousand points in my career, so I can still put the ball in the basket. It's different this year from a standpoint of scoring. Last year I wasn't efficient, but I wasn't playing on this team neither. More opportunities, better opportunities from an offensive standpoint. I look for that to go up, but physically I feel good. I feel, I had a great summer, and right now it's just about everybody coming in here and getting their training camp, preseason legs going, and getting that wind under you, and getting in kind of preseason shape before we get into regular season shape. So I pick my spots. I can attack on a block. I'm a great pick and roll player, from a scoring and passing standpoint. And when they need me to make sure stay in that corner somewhere and stay there and let Brian do his thing and be ready to shoot it. I got to knock shots down. My goal from a three-point standpoint, everybody talking about my percentage. I'm not J.R. Smith, not Cal Corver, never going to be those guys. But I want to do better than I did last year. Last year I shot 31 or whatever. I want to shoot a couple more percentage higher this year. Just being ready to shoot. So just whatever the team needs, you want to be able to give them.
Do you feel the talent around you will give you more open looks to help you get those percentages where you want them to be?
I don't know. I don't know, man. The talent around me is going to allow us to enjoy the game of basketball, to win a lot of games. When it comes to shots, just shoot. One thing that is confidence in here these days. I've been here. You get it, shoot it. It's so much ball movement, body movement in the practice right now. I mean, it's incredible. And so everyone in here gave each other confidence, to knock them down. It's really, I've been here 2 days. It's really a family from that standpoint. Everybody is rooting for each other to succeed. So when you have that confidence, you never know what can happen, man.
LeBron reached out to you in the summer of 2016, but Cleveland didn't have the same financials as Chicago did.
Oh, well, yeah. We was together when I was a free agent.
Yeah.
Last time. Yeah, we was together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When obviously, so there was an opportunity you would have to take a major pay cut, but as the Cavs season played out, did you have a little bit of a what if, looking back of when they lost in the finals, think, oh, I wonder if I could have helped that team last year.
No. My journey was different last year. So no, I mean, obviously I came to Game 4. That they weren't here at home. It's a very good team, man. When you lose in the finals, I mean, obviously everyone look at they lost 4-1, but I've been in the finals before. We've won and I've lost and understand how close it is, like Richard Jefferson said. But I definitely didn't look at it and say, oh, if I was there. No, you can't do that. Only thing I can focus on now is that I am here. And if we get that opportunity again, what can you do to help you guys, be different? So that's it.
You said you missed the spotlight. Was there a time?
I ain't say I missed the spotlight. Don't put that on me.
Whatever, however you want to phrase it. What?
The moments.
The moments.
Yeah, man, the moments.
Was it Game 4? What was it that made you miss those moments?
It's period. I mean, I'm a guy who, my whole career, I go to finals every year. You know, years I'm not in the finals, I'm at every finals. I go and experience it and feel it. I've been led since I got in the NBA. I've been to every final since I've been in the NBA, and I've always wanted to go and visualize and see what I wanted. You know, I'm not one of those guys that don't want to see it. I want to see it. I want to feel it. I want to experience it because I want to be a part of it. And I want to know what to expect when I get there. So it's just always been in me. And I've done everything in my career to help put myself and the teams that I've been a part of in a position to do that. We haven't done it every year, but I'll probably will go on record and say I've probably given back the most money in the NBA. I'm gonna go on record and say that. And a lot of it has been for me. It's been about, you know, this is a team sport. And it's been about helping, you know, the organization obviously be able to put the talent around, but it's been about my happiness. You know, for me, it don't matter how much money you got. If you're not happy, that money means nothing. And, you know, my route in life and my childhood in life, you know, to be in the position I'm in today, nothing means more than my happiness. No dollar can match that. So that's a part of the reason why I've given back almost $30 million.
I'm just wondering, the flight you and LeBron took from Vegas to Miami, when he came back, the summer you came back here, when you guys left Vegas, you were on that flight together, just the two of you, from there to Miami. What was that like? Did you know he was gone? And what was that conversation like with him on that jet?
Did I know he was leaving? I knew it was a possibility way before that. I mean, obviously we talked, and you know, I knew that he was thinking about his future, and you know, that situation as a team, as me, myself, Bron, and Chris, we all sat down before the summer started, and we talked about, you know, all of us having to make our own decisions, taking our time. From a standpoint of opting out, which we all did, was if we all come back, we opt out to give the team some flexibility to make it all work. You know, and that's the reason we did it. Now, when he decided to go back home, I was, you know, the one right there hugging him and saying, "Congratulations, thank you for 4 years. You know, go be happy, go have fun, and I'll see you when I see you on the other side." Now, that was the summer everything in Miami kind of changed. You know, for me, when I opted out, and you know, we wasn't able to bring that. We didn't have that San Antonio Spurs kind of method coming back where we can bring, you know, the stars back and add chips around it. That's when they gave Chris the max, and I wasn't a part of that. So that's when things started to change a little bit. But from Bron's standpoint, he's a friend of mine. When a friend and anybody makes a decision that's for them, you can't hate on it. You have to support them. You know, that's true friendship. And I supported him on coming back. I never thought he would play. I never thought we would play together anyway. So to get 4 years together was incredible. And, you know, I always enjoy playing against him too. So it was cool.
That cost you a lot of money. You talk about the money you gave back. You gave back a lot of money that summer.
Yeah, I gave back a lot of money, a lot of summers. And you said I just gave back $8 million this summer. You ain't talking about that. I mean, you know, it's you know, my thing is when you make decisions, like I said, I make a decision to put myself and our team in a position to, you know, opt out of a deal and say, okay, if we all coming back together, then we will, you know, we'll figure out how much money we will be willing to take. Now, when if LeBron make a decision to go back, you take care of your guys, you know, and I wasn't a part of that getting taken care of. And that everybody want to paint that on LeBron and say, oh, LeBron made a decision for him. Just like, you know, we all made a decision to opt out. It was Miami's decision not to give me the money they gave me. And simple as that, you know. So they gave it to Chris and Luau, and didn't give it to me. But I kept professional. I kept playing basketball, and until, you know, I just decided to walk away from it. But you know, costing me money, I got way more money than I ever thought I would have. So I'm okay.
I don't want to draw any conclusions, but did that summer, would you be standing here if that summer went differently?
Probably not. Probably not.
Have either of you heard from CB since you guys came
Bosh?
together? Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was happy. He hit me, text me. He said, "Man, I'm happy for you. You know, your friends don't want to see you lose, you know, and go through a rebuilding situation. You know," and he said, "I'm happy for you, man." And you know, obviously we're going to continue to talk. But he reached out to me right away. You know, it's crazy because, you know, everything I see on the social media is just me and Bron and the things we did in Miami. But Chris was right there, and you don't see him in there. You know, but you know, he was happy for me, so I appreciate it.
When you walked in here,
Yes, sir.
If I remember, in your free agency last summer, you were saying something to the effect of that you're past just looking for rings, and you wanted to get what you felt you deserved and earned monetarily. So what changed for you? When did, because you had to give back a bunch of money to join this team. When did it become, and why did it become more important to go for that one more ring instead of take the extra 8 million?
So last summer, let's just do the Cavs and the Bulls. Cavs had about $2 million. I made $23 million. That's you know, I wasn't, like I said, it wasn't at that point, you know, last year where, you know, I felt that I would take $2 million over $23 million to, you know, I mean, I give it back money, but come on, my wife will get on me on that one. So, you know, this year I got the same deal that they had last year, but I left with, you know, 15, you know, in Chicago. So it just wasn't, you know, obviously it wasn't, you know, where I wanted to be. You know, me and Brian obviously talked about it, but they didn't have, you know, Cavs didn't have a lot of money. If they had more money, it'd been a different conversation. But I can do a little math. That's 21 million more for a year. So yeah, I do got some rings. So I wasn't willing last summer to put myself in that position. But you know, this summer came with everything that happened in Chicago. If everything don't go the way that it went in Chicago with Jimmy leaving and Rondo leaving, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, I was committed to being there for, you know, at least 2 years. I was committed to, you know, being a leader with Jimmy, helping Jimmy grow, et cetera. But once they decided to, you know, move on and go in a different direction, that changed my mindset. So, you know, it wasn't planned this way. It just happened because of, you know, what the Chicago Bulls decided to do for their organization. And now, with me getting a buyout, now I get an opportunity to put myself in this position. But I wouldn't have been in this position to even go for a championship if they didn't make those moves.
I know. Last question.
Why does it work so well with you and LeBron on the court? And do you think you can rekindle some of that stuff that you guys had together in Miami?
I mean, obviously it's a different time. It would be moments. You know, we know how to play together. We want to play off each other very well. It's a different team. It's a different time. I mean, I think everybody want to rekindle the lobs and all that. I definitely would throw those. He would go get them. I mean, those will happen, but